As an instructor for Tai Chi, Moving for Better Balance, I've put the whole class for you online. You can do this standing or seated, but it's applying the Tai Chi to your everyday movement that really makes the whole program work. Now, if you haven't done my class, that's fine. You're going to learn enough here that it may interest you in doing some Tai Chi, where a lot of times people say, hey, perfect, I'm just not interested in that. But this was developed to help people keep from falling. We're going to use some of those principles and apply them to stuff that you might run into on a daily basis. Really, with Tai Chi, one of the biggest things is that they walk with the heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. And you learn to use a bent knee whenever you're trying to stand on one foot, whenever you're trying to move the foot outward. This gives a lot more stability and control to the moving foot than standing up here and moving out. Watch what happens. My weight shifts over in order to put my foot down. But if I've got a bent knee, I can stick my foot down and get it down before I ever shift my weight. So what I'd like you to do is bending your knee, just rock from foot to foot, putting your heel down first. A couple of times here. Now I'm going to show you the practical part of this. We're going to step over the cat, and since my cat is totally uncooperative, we're going to step over the imaginary cat. And so you're standing with all of your weight on one foot, taking your step over, putting the heel down. Now shift the weight to this foot where you just stepped, lift and step. Going the other direction, lift, heel down, toe down, shift your weight. Now lift up the foot and bring it down. Stepping over a bigger one. Big cat, small dog, large dog, laying in kind of a sleeping position perhaps. But we know that we always step over things. So the bent knee, lift, and you can step wider this time, heel, toe, shift the weight first, then lift, and then you can stand, going the other direction for practice, and over you go, lift, and then you can stand up straight. Now, if you have to step over something really, really large, you may want to go ahead and put your toe down just because you're reaching so much farther with a big step. So if you're stepping over a log, you're stepping over a box, you're stepping over a piece of furniture, you're standing with your weight on the one leg first, and you get it over and come down, put all the weight on the support leg first, then lift the other leg. You want to practice it with something that if you kick, it's not going to hurt it or break it. I've got a big basket full of towels, and I can step and step, step and step in order to get over the towel. So we've used our Tai Chi for that. Now we can use that whole bent knee thing if we're looking under something. Instead of worrying about falling like we did with our stepping, we're worried about the back, and normally we go and we say, oh, I want to look underneath this drawer, and so we kind of do this. Instead of doing that, what I propose is that you put your feet apart like so many of the stances in the Tai Chi. And once your feet are apart, then you can come down with your head and your body more or less straight and get your hands on your thighs before you do the lean. Look underneath, and then you can push yourself up as you rise, bringing the legs straight, bringing the hands up and coming back up. And that's going to help keep you from twinking your back. So we'll do a couple more things here in just a minute. Using one of the Tai Chi stances, which is with your feet rather apart like this, like we've done before, but with the feet sort of out to the side, This is part of one or two of the different ways that you place your feet with the Tai Chi, moving for better balance. What we're going to do is use it in a practical manner as though this was something heavy as opposed to the lightness of it. Instead of, though, if you wanted to move an object from here to here, or from here and lift and put it down here, and putting the strain on your back and putting you in a position where you could fall, you can use the Tai Chi to your advantage by taking the feet apart and leaning forward and bending the knee and lifting with the legs. You can step in and turn and sit it down, and you can step out, bend the knees, set it down. Or you can actually, if it's just a small little area, you could lift and step and lift and step. Instead of this, we have this. One of the things that happens with the Tai Chi is that you learn how to keep this very, very strong, which helps keep you from falling. But you can see that it gives you an assist in everyday life just from moving the things that you normally do. It could be the groceries. It could be anything. It could be moving the lazy cat, where you have to pick the cat up and move them to another place. People with Parkinson's often have a thing that's called foot drop. They walk across the floor and possibly stumble because they're not lifting their feet. With Tai Chi, you're actually doing a lot of this motion with the heel down and lifting the toes off the floor. That strengthens these muscles, and they're generally quite weak, the ones in front and the ones on the top of the legs. And that's part of what's causing that PD foot drop and causing a little more of a shuffle. If you continue practicing exercises that lift your feet, such as this, and turning and tapping the feet, you can tap them in and out, practice that and become cognizant of that lifting the toe. It can really help with steps, because you come up to a step and you see the step and you can think, lift the toe the same way that you would be lifting the toe into a stepping motion, taking the Tai Chi walking. So you'd come up to your step and you'd lift, and here's that weight being supported on the back leg, and then you put your foot down, and then you can move to the next step in the same manner, as long as you move slowly and you move using a Tai Chi step, going up with the heel down, toe down, and then on the way back you'll have to go down, toe down, heel down. So I'm going to switch here and have you watch. I'm either going to step from this step down and go toe down, heel down, or I would go all the way down the step, toe down, but see where my support is? It's on my front leg, and heel down, and once the weight is on the back foot, then you can step. This is real good in real uneven surfaces, like a curb, and you're having to load the car or something, and you have to step up and then back on the curb. And people with Parkinson's often have a real hard time with that foot back. But then you're really concentrating on, oh, my weight needs to be here, and taking the step instead of thinking, oh, I need to move my foot. You're doing a little end run around your Parkinson's in the way you've always done it. You can use the Tai Chi split legs and the strong thighs to get out of a low chair or off of a stool that's low. You just take your step to the side and rotate the foot out. The other foot is tucked in pretty tight. Put your hands right on your thighs and lean a little bit forward. Shift your weight over your knees and hips and come up. I'll do it for this side so that you can really see. I'm taking my step kind of back and a little bit of a step out. And here, instead of leaning too far this way, we can lean slightly forward, hands pressing down, and with this split leg here, it'll allow you to come up and stand. The Tai Chi moves can come in real handy in some places. One of the places I go are antique stores, and they're often just crammed together, and kind of a dangerous area if you happen to be a little on the unbalanced side for whatever reason, Parkinson's, maybe arthritis in your feet, maybe you have ear problems, whatever the cause, being around breakables like this is always a worry. But how do you back out of those narrow little walkways and things? And I'm just about to show you. And so we were walking into a nice tight space in between all of the clutter in the store. We have a couple of ways to do this. One is to put our weight on one leg, step the other foot back, drop the heel down, putting the weight evenly on both legs, and then rocking back. We rock the front foot first, the back foot next, take it around and take a step, and then you can come on out. So that would be walking in, stopping, bending the knees, toe down, heel down, roll the foot inward, roll this foot out, and then you can come out. If you've got yourself really in a long situation and you need to take a step in order to do this because it's too tight for you to get out real quick, what you can do is put your weight on one foot, take a very small step back, toe, heel, set this foot down next to it and regain your balance. And then you can either with the same foot or the opposite foot do it again. Little step, toe, heel, shift your weight, step, toe, heel, shift, step, and then once you're out, then you can go ahead if you need to and you can rotate your feet and you can come on out. This is called single whip. It's one of the forms that's in the Tai Chi. With single whip, the hand is out in what I call a stop hand. This will strengthen the muscles in the top of the hand and the top of the arm. So you wonder, what does that have to do with helping out in your everyday life? It can help you if you fall. A couple of things would happen if you've been practicing this. When you do this, you do hold the ball, you step, you go into single whip. But look what happens with my leg. See how it's bent here? Then I rock it back and bend the support back leg, bring my foot around, go into the other side of the ball, take the step out, the stop hand again, and then the rock back and hold the ball. But it's this motion right here that can help you if you're falling, because you've started to strengthen this part of your hand. And rather than just fall, you may fall with your hand in more of a support thing, but instead of falling like this, look where I am with in relation to the lines on my screen. If I was to fall from there, I'm falling from quite a height. If you're used to bending your knees and you start to fall, you may catch yourself on a bent knee, and even if you go down, look at how much lower you are to the ground in the fall. You might even start to fall and take a few steps and catch yourself with that strong leg, or taking a few steps getting you closer to the ground as you fall. You'll be able to see all of the Tai Chi videos on my YouTube channel, starting with Tai Chi walking, warm-ups, and seated or standing forms. But you can practice these things at home too. You don't have to do all the Tai Chi.